Hey everybody, as you can tell by the title of this video, it is called Respect. Now, the reason why I decided to make this video called Respect was the reason why I made this video about respect was because I feel like a lot of people don't know what respect is. And that's scared to a lot of younger kids. So I hope I get that type of audience as well. But I go to the stores and I go to my siblings' schools, and I do see like a lot of people, even adults nowadays, but mainly like teenagers and up. They don't know what respect is because they don't respect their parents. They don't respect their siblings. They don't respect their teachers. They don't respect anybody. And I feel like you need respect in the world. And the first way or place you are going to learn respect is in your household from your parents. And if you can't respect your parents, then you're not going to be able to respect anybody else. And that right there is a problem. So now I'm going to talk to you about respect. There will be more videos coming. I know I haven't been posting every day like I normally do, but I'm getting these videos back. So we starting. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time I upload a video every day at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's get started. What is respect? You were at a restaurant. A woman sitting at the next table snapped her fingers and yelled at the waiter. What would you think of this person? I don't know about you, but I would think that she's being very rude and disrespectful. Why does she think that she has the right to talk down to the waiter like that? Most people I know would not do such a thing to others, whether it's their friends or someone they don't know. However, some of them feel completely entitled to talk to their children that way. A mother would snap at her son. See the irony in these two examples? Why is there such a big difference in how we treat others compared to how we treat our children? The feeling of respect needs to come from within, and you cannot force someone to respect you. I'm going to give you 6 things that you can do to teach somebody else respect or for you to learn respect. So, this is how you can teach respect, and this is how you can learn respect. Number 1, stay calm and don't overreact. When you think your child or someone is being disrespectful, the other day, my daughter was eating cookies and she wanted to go into my room. Crumbs came all over her mouth as she took every bite. I told her not to go into my room with cookies. I repeated the request at every step she took on the 14th step of the stairs. I said it was one more time. When she was at my door, she ignored it and entered my room with cookies in her hands and crumbs on my floor. I was angry. I exploded and yelled, "Didn't you hear that I just asked you not to come in my room with cookies?" She looked at me and turned around and left my room. So, what is the lesson? That yelling and only yelling works with kids? Don't listen, right? Wrong. She didn't listen to me because she couldn't listen to me. I was not in front of her making eye contact and ensuring she was paying attention to what I was saying. Instead of just Instead, I just sat at my desk and shouted my command while she was fully immersed in tasting the yummy cookies. And leftover focus was spent on making sure she didn't fall down the stairs. Simply couldn't pay attention to me until she entered the room and saw me. However, from my perspective, I thought she heard everything I said, but ignored me. I thought she was purposely disrespecting me and my request. So I was angry. My emotions took over. Instead of looking into why she acted that way, I yelled at her. I was being disrespectful to her. I was shouting to her from another room, not caring whether I was interrupting what she was doing or not. And when she didn't meet my expectations, I acted rude towards her. I shouted at her that I only cared about my own needs. I showed her that when you were frustrated, you could be rude and disrespectful. That was definitely the wrong message. I was not being a good role model in having empathy, respect, and self control. Granted, there are often situations where disrespectful kids really do outrageous or disrespectful things, but it could be because they don't know any better at that age or they miss the cue. That's where the parents come in to teach them. But how can we teach children to be respectful using a disrespectful manner? So, let me pause right there. That basically shows you that if you want respect, you need to give respect because you can't be disrespectful and mean and rude to people and expect them to be nice to you and respect you. Because if you're mean and rude to somebody, they're going to be mean and rude to you back. That's just how I see it. What you want in the world, you have to bring out. To, res- to teach respect first, we need to stay calm and stay in control. Identify if this is a real disrespectful situation, a misunderstanding, or simply because the child hasn't learned the proper reasons in such a situation. 11. Socially, sorry, and generally being disrespected, we should pay attention to the circumstance instead of going off on the child. You are being disrespectful. As your child, ask your child why they act that way. Last weekend, my almost 4.5 and a half year old finally achieved a major milestone. She called me a bad name. She had never called me that before, as we had never called her a bad girl. She didn't learn to say that until she heard her friends say it recently. For my most For most parents, that is a very disrespectful thing for a child to say justifiably. Many of them become upset or angry. They would reply, "How are you? You are not allowed to talk to me that way. I'm your mother or father." Parents are upset. They are called names and they are hurt. But is that the child's intention when they say that? Disrespectful kids usually say that because they are angry. Someone, and it's usually you, hurt their feelings or hurt them. So out of instinct, they want to hurt you back. It is usually not like occurrence because kids and grown-ups cannot think straight when they are angry. They just reflect reflectively want to fight back to protect themselves, and in this case, they use hurtful words to do so. I asked my daughter, "Why did you say that? Was it because you were angry?" She nodded. "Were you angry because I didn't let you have some cookies?" She nodded again. I nodded too. With my acknowledgement, I could see her anger started to display. Well, I understand you are upset, but that doesn't mean I am a bad mom. If other kids are mad at you for something you have done, does it make you a bad girl? She shook her head. Okay then, you are not a bad girl because other people are upset. So I am not a bad mom because you are upset, right? She nodded slowly like she was trying to absorb my words. 1 second, sorry guys. The lighting, I know the lighting is horrible, but I got some good information for you guys, so I'm trying to speak to y'all. At this point, I went on to address her needs. She was angry because her needs were not met. I asked her to think of other ways to get what she needed instead of calling me names. I explained to her that hurting others that way couldn't help reduce her anger or solve her problem. By naming and narrating my child's emotions, I helped her understand where her anger came from. Taught her verbalize, verb, uh, verb, I'm not saying it right. Taught her how to say how she feels. Describe her emotions. Give her tools to solve problems. I also showed her that in conflict situations, you could still stay calm, keep a clear head, and respond respectfully. Disagreement can take a place without being disrespectful. Isn't this much better than screaming? How dare you? Which only addresses parents' own needs. Feel respected. What better way to teach a behavior than modeling the behavior you teach? Show them how to respecting them. I don't mean calling them sir or madam or bowing to them. Just treat your child as a person in the same way you treat other grown ups. For example, respect preferences. I've heard a father yell at their son for eating inside of a pie first before the crust because that was the wrong way to eat the pie. It is ridiculous how some parents want to have complete control over their child's behavior and preferences. Most of us are not this extreme, but we still do some crazy things of preference policy, meaning we do crazy things ourselves. And we, like I said, everything starts with yourself. So if you don't love yourself, if you don't love yourself, if you don't respect yourself, then how do you expect for your child to respect you? And if you're yelling and you're screaming at your child to get them to do what you want them to do, how do you respect, how do you expect them not to speak to you in that same way? But if you want your child to respect you, start with respecting yourself and their choices. Everyone has their own preference as much as I want little ones to be just like you want your child to be a mini me and like exactly the same things and like exactly the same things as you. You do. But your child is not. Your child has their own liking. And if you don't like what your child wants, you will explain why. But immediately, your child has to learn to make decisions for themselves, as long as their choice is not a dangerous or safety or health, financially consuming, and does not hurt others. You honor it. That is why you let your child make their own choices in things, such as their own outfits, such as ends up such as things going on for preschool or high school or middle school, wearing mismatched socks, pajamas, underwear, dresses, a shirt under or over a dress, etc. Every person has the right to think independently and to like different things that should include children, adults, preteens, teenagers. When people's differences are accepted, they feel heard and respected. They see firsthand how to treat others or have different opinions. They learn that they should respect people despite their differences. This understanding and tolerance for differences will become especially important when the teenage years comes. That's when everything mom and dad say will sound stupid to them. And you want your teenager to know how to tolerate differences and still respect you. Use kind and firm discipline to teach, not to punish. Discipline means to teach or to train, not to punish. It doesn't have to be a punishment. In fact, studies have shown that positive discipline is a lot more effective and longer lasting than negative discipline. If we discipline using a stern tone when our kids have done something wrong, we are showing them to be cruel and harsh to those who make mistakes. Who doesn't think mistakes? Who doesn't make mistakes? Imagine if you make a silly mistake at work, you make a silly mistake at school, you make a silly mistake at home, and your boss or your teacher or your parent talks down to you in a demeaning way. That must feel really, really bad. Would any of us therefore have more respect for the teacher or your boss? No, right? You wouldn't. The same with children. Being harsh or using punishment will not earn us respect, but positive discipline is not the same as being soft. One can be firm and kind at the same time when disciplining. Setting firm boundaries and sticking to them are the keys to successful discipline. Give respect to earn respect. Give respect to earn respect. A mature, respectful grown-up accepts responsibility and apologizes when he or she makes mistakes. Apologizing to anyone does not undermine your authority as a teacher, a parent, a student. On the contrary, you are reinforcing your authority and credibility. You are demonstrating integrity and building trust with whoever you are speaking with. Treating people disrespectfully will just make them lose their respect for you. Think about the mean boss or the mean teacher or the mean parent that you had growing up. If you're lucky and your kids or your students or whoever are not the stubborn type, you may get temporary compliance out of them, which may seem like respect, but it's not. Years later, when they're all grown up, you may wonder why your grown child does not have respect for you anymore. They probably never did. They were only being compliant when they were kids, and you have modeled the lack of respect, well, since their childhood. Someone said, and I quote, "I sometimes wondered if I should just go the easy route to save myself some time. and frustration after telling my daughter not to make a mess a jillion times. But every time I was tempted to take such a shortcut, I reminded myself how I hated to when I was treated like that as a child, and how it would only earn me disrespect. Who says parenting is easy? With the thought, I took a deep breath, recomposed myself, and explained the thoughts first time why it was not okay to her to do that. For her to do that. It's so crazy, guys. So, what I just spoke to you guys about was teaching respect. So that's how you teach respect to children, to your little kids, to your teenagers, your preteens, even your kids that are adults and already up in the world. That's how you teach respect. But let me get to the nitty gritty about respect, because I feel like this topic is like a great topic to have, because I feel like nowadays people don't have respect for each other or for their parents. And I see a lot of kids, and it's wrong, but they call them baby kids. And if you don't know what baby kids are kids who just don't listen and they don't respect their parents. And it's a shame that in the society nowadays, we call them baby kids, but they're just disrespectful little kids. And so I feel like this video is going to help a lot of mothers, a lot of fathers, a lot of teachers, or anyone who is trying to teach a child or anyone respect. Now, let me explain to you what respect is now. Respect means you care enough to think about how you impact others. What is respect? It's a big concept to grasp. You might hear about having respect or showing respect. At the heart of respect is caring. Respect is caring how words and actions may impact others. Respect has two parts. Having respect for someone because of how their actions impact others. And two, showing respect by changing your actions to be sure you don't have a negative impact. Respect is caring enough to consider how words and actions impact others. Having respect is when you feel good about someone because of how they act. Showing respect is when you care how your actions impact others. What is having respect? Sorry about the background. Having respect means you feel positively toward a person because of how they affect others. For example, you may have respect for a person that treats others kindly, someone who worked hard to achieve something, someone who overcame a challenge. You can have respect for others and you can have respect for yourself. Self-respect means you feel good about who you are, the types of choices you make, and the impact you have on others. What is showing respect? Being respectful means you act in a way that shows care for how your actions may impact others. When we can show respect for people, places, and things, for example, using kind or polite words even when you are upset, using manners like sharing, waiting your turn, staying, saying please and thank you, accepting differences, or at least disagreeing with kind words, being careful not to damage places or things, using a quiet voice or calm behavior in public places, sharing resources, only taking what you really need. Why respect is important, and respect is very important. To understand why respect is important, think about what life would be if we don't treat each other with respect. Since respect is about caring whether our words and actions have a hurtful, hurtful effect on other people. In a world with respect, no one would care whether they were hurting other people. They might do things that are dangerous or mean and not care if other people were harmed. All of us in society needs to treat other people with respect. If you want respect, you got to give respect. If we treat to feel safe and live peacefully together, respect is important because it means we treat others the way we want to be treated. So if we don't treat others kindly, how can we expect them to be kind to us? So, 1 second, sorry guys. So, to be really honest with you guys, like, how do you, and I'm so serious, how do you expect to have people respect you as a person if you don't love yourself and you don't respect yourself? Because if you don't love yourself and you don't respect yourself, how do you think people are going to care about you? If you don't care about yourself, nobody will care about you enough to respect you. Nobody will. Nobody will. Nobody will. And they will disrespect you. Like I say, everything comes with self love. And that's why I have the self care in a toxic world. Session 2 will be coming out in a few days, and so will session 3. Like I said before, respect is like something that like I strive to talk to you guys about because I feel like a lot of people nowadays don't know how to respect their elders or just weren't taught as a kid to respect your elders. Let me explain to you how I was taught respect, because maybe when you get another person's perspective of the situation, then there's another, way for you to understand it and to receive it and to learn it. So when I was a kid, like I would do things that weren't, a child wasn't supposed to do. And my mom would just yell, scream, take things away as like a punishment for not doing what I was supposed to do that was correct or being bad. Now, a lot of parents do that. They take things away or they yell and scream at you. But if you realize of what I said, yelling and screaming at your child or at anyone is not going to get that person to listen to what you are saying. If you want that person to understand what you are saying and to do what you're saying and to not be disrespectful and rude and a bad child, you got to come eye contact. Look them in their eyes so they know that you're speaking with them. Talk in a nice manner, a nice tone, and say, "Excuse me, you did." I'm just going to give an example. "Excuse me, Amanda. You just threw all the rice on the floor. I need you to go get a broom and go pick up all that rice and put it in the trash. And then I need you to take the bag that the rice was in and put it in the trash. And then I need you to go in your room for, let's say, a half an hour for you to understand and learn why you are not allowed to pour rice on the floor. Because we use the rice to cook food. We don't use rice to throw onto the floor." That's how you should talk to somebody. I'm not saying talk to them like a little kid, but I just gave you an example of how to talk to somebody. You talk to them nicely and you break it down and you look them right in their face and you tell them why you're upset and what they did that was wrong. And then you give them their consequence. But if you just sit there and you do this, I'm going to give you another example. If you just sit there and go, Amanda, why did you do that? You are not allowed to throw rice on the floor. You need to pick it up, go get the broom, throw it in the trash, and then get the bag that the rice was in, put it in the trash, go upstairs in your room for half an hour, and till I call you to come downstairs because you're being bad. You're not allowed to do that. Now, which one seems better? The first one, where I was nice and polite to Amanda, or the second one, where I was yelling and screaming at Amanda to tell her the same things that I said nicely, but in a meaner tone? Which one? The nice one or the mean one? The nice one. You see what I'm saying? And that's how we should talk to everybody. You see what I'm saying? That's how you talk to people, and that's how you get your point across, and that's how they listen to you and understand what you're saying, and that's how people respect you. Because if you come across yelling and screaming and all of that stuff, people are not going to listen to you. They're not going to respect you. Because, like, if you're yelling at me and cursing at me and doing all this stuff to me, how am I supposed to respect you if you're not respecting me? Because everybody has feelings. You see what I'm saying? And I will be doing a video on feelings, so stay tuned to that. But this video was to teach you guys respect and how to show you guys and tell you guys how to teach respect. And then it was also to explain to you what respect was. So the title of this video is Teaching Respect and what respect is. Now, I hope you really did learn from this video because I gave a lot of good information. Don't forget, for Self-Care in a Toxic World, session number 2 and 3 will be coming out. Session number 2 will come out this week. Session number 3 will come out next week, which will be Monday. So, I will be doing a video every day, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you do not get a video from me at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on whatever day it is, go to one of my videos, comment, and say, where's the video for such and such day? I haven't gotten a video today. And I'll see it, I'll get notified, and I'll be able to go and be like, let me make a video. I haven't uploaded today. Get me back on my grind. And there is going to be a video called Self-Care. Not Self-Care, I'm sorry. Stress. So, I will have a video on stress. So stay tuned to that. Also, my condolences to everybody in Texas because, I know I'm late, but they don't have running water and they don't have electricity in the state of Texas. They're shutting certain people's things off and certain people's things on, and some people don't have water. And if they do have water, it has parasites in it, it smells bad, and it's toxic, and they can't use it to eat, drink, or to bathe, or take a shower, and etc. So then they got to go to hotels and stuff, or out of town. So my prayer goes out to them, and I hope that, and I pray that the situation gets better, and that, they do get clean running water, especially for the kids, So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video. But until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video every day at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, guys, bye.